Ohio State, 130.5. Penn State in the number 2 spot. Iowa 3rd. Michigan, North Carolina State. The Hawkeyes, the Wolverines, and the Wolfpack all looking for them to come home with some team trophies. The NCAA Wrestling Championships wrap up tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN2 with the finals, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Talk about this being a 3-day grind. Taylor Venz of Nebraska gets twisted up in his match with Emory Parker of Illinois. And immediately the look of pain as he winces and looks down at his right leg. Jim, these guys, boy, they're gladiators. They're modern-day gladiators to wrestle 7 and 8 matches over a 72-hour stretch. And Venz back out there, although he's in some trouble now, giving it a go.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic tournament, Taylor Venz. Just the freshman, and he's a pinner. He's going against a sophomore who's already been an All-American. It's also a pretty tough out. We mentioned Emory Parker a year earlier about in the last round and losing in the first round. Coming all the way back and getting third. That's an accomplishment that, it tends to happen every year or two. You get a guy that loses early and comes all the way back, gets on a roll. That certainly reveals a lot of character when you can come back and do that and go through the grind. And those matches on Thursday night that you guys did, those are first-round losers. Sometimes they can be some of the roughest matches. It's just the pilot lights out, the matches are wet. What are you going to do to go ahead and get yourself going? And you're going against an opponent maybe experiencing the same thing. It's rough wrestling, right? But all of a sudden, a little bit of momentum builds. You catch a little fire here, and by the time you get to Saturday, you're an All-American, and you're trying to get as high as you can on that stand so you could get in the same picture with the national champion.
We talked about the magnitude of matches that a guy goes through, and you look at what Taylor Venz has went through the last couple of days. It speaks volumes of the type of endurance, the type of shape these elite athletes are in. And we talked about it, we joked about it at the opening. There's no luck here on St. Patrick's Day, the luck of the Irish. Every single All-American earns their spot on the podium.
There's no 3-day tournaments in the sport, so this is all... You're going against what's a program's winning percentage on Saturdays? Because you're going against an All-American. Whether you're in the finals or whether you're here, you're going against an All-American. So the competition is high. And it's also the third day, so the lactic acid is settled in, from those earlier rounds, and just the stress of traveling. It's a 5-day trip. There's a lot of that goes into it. And I think these coaches are, the wealth and the wisdom is really spreading. So you've got more and more people that are capable of putting those upsets together. It's been a fantastic tournament as far as that's concerned. I did the shape that these athletes have been in the mid-level programs. They're ready to go. You can't just show up here and expect to win matches because of the color of your uniform.
Abounader on the right, Zavatsky of Virginia Tech. It's Dominic Abounader in his final go-around as a Wolverine, looking to finish 5th. Already guaranteed his first All-American performance. Parker continues to lead 5-1 on Venz of Illinois. The Silver Fox, Joe McFarland, said it best, that Dominic has been a major part of his program. His trail here, getting beat earlier in some tough matches, 184 a few years ago was just loaded with guys, 10, 12 deep. And it seemed like Dominic always used to, in the consolation rounds, get the unlucky draw of maybe the toughest guy in the round of 12. But a Big Ten champion, a guy who's won some matches, beat some really good people in his career. You could see the relief when he won in the quarterfinals. Certainly so. Abounader leading by 3. And you look ahead to the championships tonight, again, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. You have Bo Nickel and Miles Martin, a direct clash. Penn State, Ohio State. Huge stakes on the line. Break it down. These two guys are familiar with one another. What do you anticipate?
Well, Bo Nickel really feels that he's the better wrestler in all positions. You hear his quotes and all this stuff. I feel like I can wrestle better than anybody in all those positions, and he's been correct. All right, but the thing about it is that Miles Martin is the most improved guy on that Buckeye squad. That's saying a lot. After he won a national championship his freshman year, was the 11th seed, gets all the way to the finals, and he's been able in the last 2 years to beat Bo Nickel in the finals of the NCAA and the finals of the Big Ten tournament. So he's going to walk in here with a lot of confidence. Now, in the duel, it was a 8-2 match at one point. In the last 10 seconds, he gets turned for 2, and it ends up becoming a major decision. So, but I think Martin is the type of guy that is dangerous, and he's got repetitions wrestling Nickel. That's going to be helpful. But Bo's Bo. He is the best wrestler in all positions, and you've got to be, really mindful of the hips that he brings to the party.
You mentioned the improvement with Martin, taking the world by storm in 2016, last year's performance in St. Louis into this year. Where have you seen him grow the most?
He was struggling last year when he moved up the weight. He actually went to the Midlands, and he was one of 3 Buckeyes that went to the Midlands, the Christmas tournament. And he went there just to get reps. That's where he gained my respect as an athlete. National champion as a freshman, but he felt he actually needed the competition, so he went and found himself some more matches and wanted to wrestle those bigger bodies more often. And there you see Emory Parker, the third rank. It's a tremendous tournament, come all the way back. Abounader as well, but getting back to the Miles Martin matchup, with Bo Nickel, it'll be fun, and this crowd will be into it. There'll be it won't be boring. And if I'm Miles Martin, go for it. Test those hips. Get a lot of scoring out there. Bring your athletic ability to the forefront.
Wolverine picking up a handshake from Coach McFarland, Michigan, in that team race. Take a look at the championships tonight. Bo Nickel, sharpshooter out of the state of Texas for the Nittany Lions. Miles Martin won it all 2 years ago. He's at a comfortable weight in 2018. He has the look of a champion tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, ESPN 2.